So the reason why basically I stopped collecting Pokemon cards is because I am finished, in my personal opinion. So one of the main reasons why I always wanted to collect Pokemon cards was because every Pokemon card was like a little art piece in a way. You know what I mean? I don't really know how to play, to be honest with you, but I obviously grew up with watching Pokemon and playing it on Game Boy and etc. So I wanted to make like a huge art piece, you know what I mean? And it all started when I first saw this Entei from Crown Zenith had a volcano erupting in the back. And I was like, holy crap, that looks really cool. It looks like something's going on, obviously. And then I kind of got curious and started looking at more and more Pokemon cards, and I started seeing that some of them kind of had this, ominous kind of end of the world scenario in a way, you know what I mean? So I just started going on a journey on collecting cards that reminded me of that, that kind of showed that, that art in an ominous kind of way, you know what I mean? So this is kind of a collection, as you can kind of see back here, of those cards. I feel like I'm finished with it. I haven't seen any of the cards that fit really well with the vision, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously there's more that we can add it bigger. I mean, for the time being, I was like, this is what I found so far. This is what I'm gonna go with, So this is basically the end of the world Pokemon edition. Yeah, so it basically starts from right here. You have this Groudon, like the volcanoes exploding. You have Charizard, kind of in flames and a whole bunch of ominous. You have the Mightyena running towards, whatever is kind of going on. The beautiful Entei with the exploding volcano, similar to the Groudon. You have Raikou, running as fast as he can, trying to go tell, basically Suicune. You have the Taurus, and the ominous artwork with the Iron Thorns. Of course, the Rayquaza VMAX looking super cool right here. The Ho-Ho obviously looking up at, Arceus and Giratina and Dialga and Palkia kind of making that cross, which is pretty cool from Crown Zenith. Then you have Espeon and Deoxys right here kind of, doing almost like a battle scene, like something's obviously going on. The Ethan's Magcargo obviously looking in the distance, towards, whatever's happening. The Emboar doing kind of the same thing. The Latias kind of looking into the distance, see what's going on. The Victini, just beautiful. I love the way the artwork looks right here. Kind of, obviously something ominous going on. The bird kind of flying to the distance, kind of towards the city. And Mewtwo kind of ominously looking over the city. And, Wailord coming to kind of, to the surface in a really cool way that kind of fits all of the color scheme. So yeah, that's it right there. Alright guys, so there it is. That is the end of the world Pokemon edition, at least my interpretation of it. And hopefully you guys found it cool. Hopefully this kind of serves you, gives you a purpose to kind of, not just have cards, folded into a binder. I know a lot of these cards are worth a lot. So just a cool way to kind of show off, your Pokemon collection. So I encourage anybody that, has some really cool Pokemon cards or any anime cards really to, try to get creative and think of, of a scenario or a way to display these beautiful art pieces, because, they are cool. They are valuable to some people, obviously. This collection right here, it's probably, I would say, maybe about 1,200 in raw card value. So, somebody, I guess, will pay for it in a way. I think I might sell it eventually one day, or I might just keep it forever. Don't know. I do have other Pokemon cards that I would eventually want to make a bigger picture out of it. Somehow, I might get with somebody, or I might just need a bigger frame or cardboard. Because that's all I did. I just put cardboard, a black cardboard, and then piece it together on a frame, to make it look a little bit nicer. So yeah. That's the end of the world. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's probably the end of my Pokemon collection. Due to finding cards that, I enjoy and I like, and, the whole scammer situation, not scammer, what are they called? Scalpers. It's been pretty lame recently. I feel like every time I go to like a Pokemon card machine, there's always somebody waiting there. Waiting around, you know what I mean? So it's become pretty lame, I feel, nowadays. And also the new sets just don't have any of the cards that I feel would, add to this, what I have going on right here with this end of the world picture frame that I have going on. So yeah, that's really about it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you guys would add any specific cards, or if you have anything that you're making, want to make. But yeah, just let me know if you would add anything else to it. Let me know what do you think, and hopefully you enjoyed.